originally got into foster care because of my unstable environment at home. My mom was mentally not there. Physically, she was. But because of that, my brother was pretty much the adult of the family, being my older brother. He was the one who took care of all of us. My mom slept during the day and was awake at night, so during the day, both me and my brother would be doing the cleaning and the working and the getting groceries and the other regular kid stuff, too. I got pulled into several group homes after different mental issues that my mom had went through during annual times of Christmas and Thanksgiving. Several things would happen where she'd be in a completely different mind state. She's not even my mom anymore. And when she would be in these episodes, she often would leave the house. And during that time, I was left alone and essentially neglected. It took a lot for her to come back into herself, into the right mindset state. Sometimes, every time she had to be hospitalized in order to get to that point again. And so this happened for years until finally CPS decided to take me out of the home because nothing was going to help fix it. Nothing was going to help make the situation better so that I could live there, as much as that was their goal.
Nearly all of my foster kids have needed special help at school, sometimes in the form of formal special education with an IEP, an individualized education plan. Some of them have needed a 504 program. Some of them have just needed a teacher or a counselor that paid more attention to them. But all of them have needed extra help in school.
I am in special ed. It's an IEP program. And the reason why is because when in my younger years of education, because I was bouncing from school to school and because I missed so much schooling, I had missed the entire basics of everything, such as grammar and spelling and that sort of thing. And so now in high school, I don't have those, compound things, which makes it even harder for me to write a paper or to do basic algebra.
Most of the foster youth that I've known have not really been interested in education. They're more interested in their survival and just learning how to deal with things like post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety. Those things get in their way and they end up focusing on those and learning how to survive instead of being focused on school and learning how to thrive in that environment. The biggest challenge that I've had with many of my girls is a lack of support for chemical dependency. Many of the girls that I work with come to me at 14 or 15 years old and they've already been involved with drugs and alcohol for years. And teaching them a different way of living is a global thing, and it takes more than just the foster parent or just the social worker to help them. It takes everyone around them understanding what chemical dependency is and that it can happen so young in life.
I originally started smoking marijuana just because it was there. It was just what I did. So I started that pretty young. Then after a while, that got boring to me. By the time I got into my first group home in my sophomore year of high school, I ended up abusing different Adderall meds. So then I started drinking alcohol. And that's kind of my ending point of my chemical dependency, but the reasons why was just kind of to fill that void of not having something, whether it was family or friends, or not having the confidence, or not having the motivation for anything.
At first, when Naomi was living with us, she didn't show real interest in doing the things I thought she needed to do to create a successful life.
Adults, Seriously, you're gonna seriously try and tell me what to do with my life? Really, you're funny.
I thought of her as a feral child. She had raised herself. Naomi ran her own life and had no rules, and so moving into my house kind of meant she had to learn rules that she never had before.
Moving in with Maggie into this structured home was definitely a challenge for all of us. I often broke the rules. I often didn't come home when I was told to. I often, quote unquote, did my homework.
I think it's a matter of mutual respect. I think that most foster youth will learn to respect other people if they're given respect first.
My foster parents, Maggie and Barbara, had sat me down in the living room and said, Naomi, if you want to continue being part of this family, you need to start acting like it. It hit me so hard. I was like, shit. What got me was the fact that she said family. Because ultimately, I've never had a family. I mean, technically, yeah, but in the sense of me living in this home, this was like the first family I've ever had that was actually fit the definition of family. I didn't want to lose that because this is the first time I've had it. And it was like the most happiest moment of my life. Just her like saying, I want you to be part of my family. But if you don't want to be part of the family, if you're not willing to do things to be part of this family, you can't be here. And so that's what seriously snapped me into mode and what got me away from the alcohol, got me towards the education, got me, because that was the deal, was that if I was going to live there, I was going to graduate high school. And so I was like, well, shit, I better get my act together because I have a family now. I'm going to go to Western Washington University this September 2009.
I've worked with 38 girls now, and I've had 2 take college classes. Naomi will be the first one that's accepted into a 4-year program. And I've had others that have gone into the trades and have learned their jobs as they went, but none that have gone into college and completed their programs.
So my goals towards education is just to get as high as I can possibly get in education and not stop until I get there.
People in the community need to volunteer, just to mentor and coach and guide kids that need help.
Essentially, every foster kid wants to have one stable, trustworthy person because we don't have any.
There's a lack of understanding of the reason people get into foster care in the first place. I think a lot of people don't understand that piece about you have to have been neglected or abused in order to get into care. These are traumatized kids. These are not just inconvenient kids or bad kids. A lot of people seem to think that if you're in foster care, you must have done something bad in order to get there, when in fact it's the parents that have done something.
Having that one person that we can really trust and really look up to is an essential part of being able to succeed. Having that one-on-one connection with someone is one of the most important things that a foster kid could have.